All right, what's up, guys?
What's up, brother? Start of the week.
Start of the week, yes.
Nandaya na naman tayo ngayon.
Nandaya na naman tayo. Sorry, guys, kasi bukas na kami aalis
Bukas na.
papuntang bubble.
Sabi ko sa inyo yung superstar kong co-host. Pupunta na kasi silang bubble tomorrow and they have to leave extra early at like 6:37. So we
Yeah.
can't record tomorrow. So right now it's 11:50, 11:47 nighttime. So malamang matatapos kami alas 12, lapas na, malamang.
Lampas
Diba?
na, lampas na.
But a lot of things have happened this past weekend.
Dami actually, sobrang nangyari.
Like actually, kanina lang, yung game 3 kanina. Pag-usapan natin yung mamaya.
Of course, yep. All right, start off, bucket or brick. Jack Animam posted a line of 28 points on 13 of 15 shooting with 15 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 blocks, and 3 steals in her team's bounce-back win in the Serbia's first women's basketball league. Wow, bucket or brick? I don't think I'd even have to ask if it's a bucket or brick.
13 of 15 though. Crazy. I know that this is the first women's league in Serbia, but that doesn't make this less impressive because, kumbaga, we can see that Jack can compete on an international level.
Yep.
So, still the road won't be easy to all the way to the WNBA, but she's making strides, diba?
She is making strides.
Sobra.
And she's proving na kasi obviously dito she was super dominant. She was part of that NU team. She was a big part of that NU team that won straight championships in the UAAP, and she's proving that she can also do it internationally in Serbia.
Yun ang importante. Nagagawa niya internationally, so just a matter of time. A lot of room for improvement, but she's gonna get there. I really feel like she's gonna be the first WNBA player, and Kai's gonna be the first NBA player from the Philippines.
Definitely, yes, sir. All right, next up. Kemar Carino, he finally made his debut in the Japanese B League, but on his second game, he was benched against the Ayomori Watts. He mostly played back up to former TNT import Michael Craig in the first game, but he was benched in the second game, as in he didn't play at all, if I'm not mistaken. Bucket or brick, Mikey? What do you think about this?
Brick. What the fuck is wrong with our Division 2 players, man? Like, they're the ones na medyo inanticipate. Wait lang. Paano nagkaroon ng former import sa Division 2?
Ang weird niya
Like, obviously, magaling yan.
Oh.
Bakit nasa Division 2? I don't understand. But I don't understand why our Division 2 players are the ones getting less playing time. I really don't understand. Diba? So, what is there more to say, man? At saka parang si Wanto, pare, simula pa lang bangko na.
Kaya nga eh.
I don't understand, bro. And I told you, man. I mean, I'm not buying the hype. I'm not buying the B League hype, bro.
Yeah, I mean, at least for Division 2 because the Division 1 players are Division 1 players.
Yeah,
okay pa sila eh. They're doing well actually. But our Division 2 players, I don't get it. These teams made long strides to get these players, tapos di mo sila gagamitin. I don't get it.
But man, I don't buy the hype. I'm just letting y'all know, man. Medyo kumbaga, nandun na tayo sa point. Sabi natin, nung umpisa, parang, nasa Japan yung mga bata natin. Ngayon, honestly, no shot at anyone in the B League, but nakikita ko na lang yung highlights. Tsaka yung stats. Yun na lang. Hindi ko na siya pinapanood. Honestly. Again, it's not that exciting to me. Unlike the PBA earlier, 150,000, Smart Sports pa lang yun. Nanonood tayo sa Facebook lahat, live stream, 150K. So, come on, I'm not buying that hype. So anybody who tells me na talaga mas masaya panoorin ng B-League, good luck to you. Have fun with your basketball.
Sobrang hindi.
Hindi talaga.
The talent level here in the Philippines is obviously greater than Japan. The reason why maybe
puro import.
The quality is better.
It's not.
Hindi, it's not nga eh. Napapaganda lang yung quality dahil sa mga import.
Dahil by import, guys. Import.
So, kasi doon, may pwedeng tatlong world import, tapos may isa pang Asian import, di ba?
Like, honestly, the people who buy it, the people are all over, like, kissing the B-League's ass. For me, are like, you don't know basketball. No. This is not a shot at the hoopers that flew there. Like, with the money they're getting paid and living in a first world country like Japan, I'm all for that. But don't tell me that B-League is more exciting than PBA. So
Fuck no.
stop the crap. Stop the BS. All right, moving on.
All right, moving on. Well, this is another B-League update. But after just averaging 7.5 points in his first 2 games of the season, Dwight Ramos finally finding his groove with his team. Ramos scored 16 points on 5 of 12 shooting from the field with 4 rebounds, an assist, and a steal.
Pero again, yung sinasabi natin, from the start, gamit na si Dwight. Gamit na siya from the start. They're just waiting for him to get used to the game, diba? Get his legs under him. So that's import treatment. We all know that Dwight can hoop and Dwight can dominate in that league the same way as Kiefer, Ray, Kobe, 30, all of those guys. So I'm not surprised. I don't think none of us are surprised. I don't know anyone who will be surprised that Dwight plays like this. Suabe, sobra, bro. Like when you watch him, ang pull-up jumper niya, sobrang suabe. So
yeah, and he plays like a vet na eh.
Oh, he is a bit like he played Division 1 ball, so I don't see
Actually,
like
yeah.
so wala. It obviously a bucket, diba? We're never gonna
next up and
bet against our
of course, bro. Next up on the Jordan heading update, the T1 team Taichung announced that signing Jordan Heading has the clearance from the FIBA. Bucket or break, bro?
Alam mo, may narinig ako na you can't sign full-time national players. May narinig akong ganun.
Where is that? Where does that rule apply? Like sa FIBA, ganun?
FIBA doesn't allow full-time national players. And that's
they don't allow full-time national players to be signed to pros.
So full-time national player, bawal 'yun. So may bala ngayon si Jordan Heading kasi I just found out wala siyang kontrata sa Terra Firma.
Pero may kontrata siya sa SBP,
which is full-time national player. Bawal nga daw 'yun. Nabalitaan ko lang to don't quote me on this, but someone told me that FIBA doesn't allow full-time national players. That's why you just told me that they have clearance from FIBA. That kind of seconds the motion. That it kind of agrees with what I heard na bawal sa FIBA ang full-time national player. So, if he had a contract with Terra Firma, then it's a different story. But no, he has a contract with Gilas. Bawal nga yun. According to FIBA, according to someone who told me, now you're telling me he has clearance with FIBA, medyo may bala nga sila.
Wait, no. Sorry. Mali yung pagkakaintindi ko.
Yeah.
You can't have full-time national players.
You can't have full-time national team players.
Ooh.
So, if you notice, all the national team players from national teams play in the NBL, NBA, CBA, whatever. So, gulat nga ako na may ganun pala. Ba't tayo may ganun? So, I don't know. So, medyo may bala yung Jordan Heading kung isipin mo. So they got clearance from FIBA. FIBA is like the top. So baka nga may laban. So I don't know. But I was telling also that friend of mine na nagsabi sa akin. Sabi ko, okay, if at the end of the day, makalusot si Jordan, then pabayaan na siya, maglaro na siya sa Taiwan, huwag siyang umasa makakabalik pa siya. Honestly, bro. Like, huwag ka na umasa makakabalik ka kasi that's borderline disrespectful. It may be legal. We may not have a legal, kumbaga it may not be illegal, but it's disrespectful. So, baka hindi na makabalik yan. Sa totoo lang. Hindi naman siya, diba? Like, I'm just saying, like, hindi nga illegal yung ginagawa mo, but it's very disrespectful. Kasi pumirma ka ng kontrata, that's your word. That's a man's word. And then, you give that out to a country or a basketball program, tapos nakalusot ka, sige, wala kami magagawa, pero baka hindi na makabalik. I'm just saying. Yun lang naisip ko.
Bakit ba ang gulo ng basketball dito sa Pilipinas bigla?
Dami kasing bigla na loophole. Kasi kayo lumoophole. Kung ano yung rules, yun. Loophole pa. Anyway.
All right. Moving on. We were treated to I think everybody would agree with me that we were treated to the best game of the PBA All Filipino Cup
Okay.
Conference
Yeah.
Finals. Magnolia Hotshots finally won their first game of the series, 106 to 98. Despite 39 points from rookie Mikey Williams, this was the most points scored by a rookie in a finals game in 2 decades since Eric Meg scored 42 in the 1999 All Filipino Conference.
And he made 10 3-pointers, which is
He made
another
10
record
three-pointers.
for a rookie whom tinalo niya kagad si Calvin of Tana, which did it at the same conference. But grabe. Grabe Mikey Williams. Pero, if you look at the other side, only 21 points. Mark Baroka had 16. If I'm not mistaken. Calvin Abueva had a good game. Ian Sangalang was the second leading scorer. Gio Halalon had 11. So it was a collective effort for Magnolia. And I feel like collectively, they could beat a Mikey Williams. Collectively.
Wait lang, Mikey. But before we move on with breaking down this game 3, Chito Victorero and Paulie said that Mikey Williams is an NBA caliber player. Bucket or brick for
Oo
you?
naman, bro. Hey, we had Pringle in his 30s. Tama, di ba?
Yeah,
I'm not really sure kung
I think
ilang taon na si Pringle dumating sa Global Port.
if not 30s, mga late,
Pareho
mga
sila.
29 na rin. Parehas,
Parang
same
pareho
as
sila.
Mikey.
Parang pareho sila. But I feel like Mikey is more refined when he came in. Like, I'm not taking anything away from Pringle. Pringle was crazy. Pringle still is. But Mikey just, ang dami nang nilaro ni Mikey. Parang nag-G-League na yan eh.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? Kumbaga nandun siya sa, he may not be as good as a Russell Westbrook, Damian Lillard, Steph Curry, but definitely any other part of the globe, he can hoop. Diba? So, that's definitely true, man. NBA caliber. I mean,
define being more refined, Mike.
Parang
in
mas
what
marami
way?
siyang galaw eh. Sa totoo lang, bro. Again, pare, si Pringle kasi, sobrang bilis, sobrang athletic, sobrang lakas ng katawan. Pero his shot wasn't like Mikey's.
Oh, definitely.
Like, Pringle can hit 3-pointers. Don't get me wrong. He can pull up. He can catch and shoot. But Mikey, like, literally, bahala ka na eh. Like, bahala ka na, pare. Dumiskarte ka dyan. A lot of his threes were step back jumpers, pull up, may bantay. Okay, I don't want to compare because Pringle is great in his own regard. Kumbaga, he's a great player. I don't want to compare, pero iba yung Mikey ngayon, pare. Iba yung Mikey. Pringle wasn't, or maybe because Pringle wasn't in a winning team nung una niyang dating. So, hindi natin masyadong napansin.
But Pringle was already dominant when he was in Global Port.
He was dominant. But, alam mo naman to, pare, when you play on a stage, like the finals.
And you play on a winning team.
Yeah.
And you dominate.
Let's face it, pag nag-finals ka, tapos gumawa ka, sisikat ka kagad. Si Jimmy Butler, nung nag-finals, boom. Tyler Hero, nag-finals, boom. It's different. Like Damian Lillard is great, but you can't put anyone above, di ba? Like Pringle though, nung nag-Ginebra na, ayun na. Sobrang sikat na champion, ganyan.
Yeah, and actually, yung mga comments ka na sinasabi na para siyang import dito sa Pilipinas, ngayon lang surface yan nung nag-Ginebra siya.
Totoo, nung nag-Ginebra siya.
Diba?
Kaya nga, so
nobody was saying that when he was in Northport.
He was in a low market team.
Yeah.
Parang kunyari, Robert Bolick. If you talk about Robert Bolick, sobrang galing. One of the best point guards in the game. Imagine if he played in the finals. Mas yung stock mo, lalaki. So I think if Pringle came in Ginebra agad at 29, 30 years old, then poof, angat sobra. But then napunta siya sa winning team, medyo late na eh. Nabutan pa niya si Bolick sa Northport eh.
Oh.
So medyo late na talaga. Pero I'm not saying hindi siya kasing galing. Medyo mas hype lang si Mikey kasi first season finals. Eh. Diba? So, pero bucket yan for sure. NBA caliber. Galing pa.
Robert Bolick going to the B League. Bucket or brick, Mike?
Chismis. We're not sure yet. But obviously it's a bucket for him because he's gonna move to again, a great country. Plus, obviously, the pay is higher. But I'll be honest with you guys. I wanted to see him lead Northport.
To a chip.
Parang meron akong like I'm a big fan of Bolik eh. I'm a really big fan of Robert Bolik.
Because he's an underdog story.
He's a winner. He's a win. Sorry, ibang issue pala ni Robert Bolik yun. He's a winner, bro. So I wanted to see him kumbaga lead a Northport team na talagang pagcha-championing ko kayo. Because I know that was his goal coming into the PBA na mapupunta ako sa mahinang team. Malamang, second pick ako eh. Pero pagcha-championing ko to. And when he came back from the ACL tear, ganun din. Pagcha-championing ko to. So, but, diba, individually, okay, cool. But there's just a part of me now. I was cheering for Robert Polick to get a chip for Northport.
Yeah, because ganda rin kasi
ganda ng story eh.
Ng story na eh. You know, he was a highly touted recruit going into LaSalle. But then didn't really have that success that he was expecting. And then he moved to Beda, where he led Beda to championships.
Yeah.
And now, diba? It's only fitting na he leads Northport to a chip. And Northport hasn't had really a solid chance of making it to the final. Nobody has really counted them. They've never been in that position to be a contender yet.
Well, maybe when Terrence was there and Stanley, but hindi katulad na yon. But the last time I talked to him kasi sinabi niya sa akin sa PBA na lang siya walang championship. Nanalo na siya sa UAP, nanalo siya sa NCAA, nanalo na siya sa D-League, nanalo na siya sa lahat ng pinaglaruan niya sa NCAA, sa PBA na lang. I just wanted him to fill that resume or checklist, check that on his checklist. But you know, all the best for him. We'll see what happens though. Chismis pa naman eh. So, tingnan na pa natin ano mangyayari.
All right, so going back to Game 3, it was a totally different Magnolia team that we saw kanina. They were the Magnolia team that we were seeing in the eliminations. They were the Magnolia team that we saw early in the playoffs and the semis. This was the Magnolia team that we were used to watching.
Yeah. And it was a collective effort again. Even if Paulie had 21, Ian had 19, diba? And then the rest nga. Maganda yung nilaro nila ngayon, but I feel like we haven't seen a good game from Talk and Text na kasabay ng good game for Magnolia. Kasi nung first two games, ang sama ng laro ng Magnolia, kanina naman, si Mikee lang naman talaga yung lone bright spot nila. After Mikee, 11 points.
Mikee was the one who kept them in the game.
No, nobody else scored more than 11 points. Ang 11 ata, sino 11? I forget kung sino 11, if it was Roger or Poy. Not sure.
I think it was Pugoy. It was
Pugoy. Poy had like 9. Jason had 9. Troy was injured, had 4. Diba? So,
sorry, Roger Pugoy had 14.
14
Poy had 10.
Okay. O yun, 14 tas 10. Okay, but still.
And that was it.
Those aren't their usual numbers talking about these two guys. So, I feel like yung sobrang ganda ng laro ng Magnolia kanina, sumakto na hindi maganda yung laro ng Talk and Text. Yung first two games, sobrang ganda ng laro ng Talk and Text, sama na laro ng Magnolia. So, kaya ganun yung margin. Laging kanina 8 points. That was the closest already, 8 points. So, if you think about it, it's closer than people think. We just haven't seen both teams play their best at the same time. Diba? Tapos, diba? Law of averages din. Kanina, sobrang malas na ng Talk and Text sa labas. Si Mikee lang talaga yung wild. Kasi past 2 games, wild sila sa 3 points.
But actually, I thought nga nung first quarter, they were exchanging baskets from the outside, diba?
That's true.
And so I thought akala ko magtutuloy-tuloy na yun hanggang sa dulo.
Yeah. Tsaka pag inisip mo, parang ang ganda ng depensa ng Magnolia naman talaga eh. Pero hindi mo alam kung yung thinking na nila was, hindi naman natin masastop si Mikee. So stop na natin lahat. Wag lang si Mikee pabayaan na natin. Kasi hindi naman tayo tatalunin ni Mikee mag-isa. Which is a fact. They can't in the pros, in the finals, you can't win with one guy.
Oh, definitely.
Diba? In the finals lalo. And especially if the other team has a lot of firepower as well. So hindi ko alam kung sinadya nila yon, but it worked. So hopefully, baka ganun na yung gawin nila.
Mikey, Coach Chito Victorero did he changed his starting lineup. He started Gio Halalon in place of Mark Baroka. What do you think was the impact of that? Would you think that kind of changed the start for Magnolia?
Yeah, I'm the type na ano eh. It's not how it's not really the start is not as important as the finish. So sa finish naman alam mo pa din nandoon pa din si Mark Baroka, Paul Lee, 'di ba, yung mga yan. But Gio Halalon coming in, I think the biggest difference with Gio Halalon starting compared to Mark Baroka is a steady point guard, steady vet. Kumbaga, steady lang yan. Relax lang kayo kung bahala sa inyo. Si Gio medyo energy eh. Hindi pala medyo, talagang energy.
Energy talaga.
Energy, intense, 'di ba? Depensa. So, he could set the tone. So, he could. Like Jason Castro coming off the bench. Si Mikey medyo ano pa eh. Energy, bata eh. Tapos pagpasok ni Jason, okay, veterano tayo. Pwedeng ganun din. Pwedeng ganun yung minatch ni Coach Chito because you wanna start na Gio, ratatatat, ganun na kagad si Gio eh. Tapos pagpasok ni Mark, okay, steady tayo, relax. So,
and I think yeah, it worked, and I think Coach Chito was thinking na sama kasi nung start nila the first two games they started out really flat, and that's why I think right now during this game he wanted to experiment with something else para baka yun nga, and it worked.
And what we're saying, Coach Chito is underrated. As great as Coach Chot Reyes is, like we always say,
Coach Chito is no pushover.
He's knocking on the door on that top tier of coaches. So, ganda ng adjustment. Tapos pare, Rafi Rivas siya ng fourth kay Mikey.
Oh, pare.
Like, Mikey still went off. Don't get me wrong. But, that's a different look. And at the end of the day, they got the dub. Diba?
He had Gio and Mikey in the first part of the game. Then he had Calvin, and then biglang Rafi Rivas.
Rafi Rivas, no? Galing pare. Kumbaga, he's coaching. You can see that he's coaching, and that in itself is admirable already. Kumbaga, down 0-2 tayo. Alam ko magagaling yung mga players ko. Actually, he doesn't get enough credit because people just say, magagaling naman kasi yung mga players. No, he's coaching, man. He is coaching. I really have to put, kumbaga, take my hat off to Coach Chito.
And grabe, pare. You know, for a 44-year-old to defend a rookie, I mean, and not just any other rookie, a super rookie, a rookie who played in the NBA G League. Yeah. Damn, that's just... Man.
He was cooked a couple of times because Mikey will be Mikey, but he held his own, man. He had a lot of stops. And more than the stops, he pretty much did not really deny, pero nahirapan ibigay yung bola kay Mikey. Kaya so, ganda ng ginagawa nila. And I think, you know, the chess match will continue between Coach Chito and Coach Chot. Now it's Coach Chot's turn to adjust to kung ano man nakita niya na sa Game 3. So you can expect even more exciting Game 4.
Definitely. All right. So that was it for our sports updates for today. Moving on. It's supposed to be Matchup Mondays. It's not yet Monday, but we have something that you guys, we're gonna try to bring you back a little bit. We're gonna pit the most dominant team in the PBL, which is the Harbor Center Portmasters nung start, pero naging Harbor Center Batang Pierre against the LX Road Warriors of the PBA D-League. Harbor Center won 7 straight championships in the PBL, and LX won 6 championships in the PBA.
6 straight ba? Hindi naman. Natalo sila sa Black
Parang hindi 6 straight. Pero yung Harbor Center 7
straight. Parang si Jerwin Gaco lang ang buong 7.
Diba?
I'm not mistaken. Si Jerwin Gaco lang ang buong 7. And Harbor Center during that time, oh my gosh, man. Jason, JC, Gabby, Bo, diba? Ay,
yeah, Bo.
Si Bo, tama, Bo.
Bo was there, yeah. Sol Mercado. LA.
Sol.
Mark Baroka was there also.
Kumbaga, in short, all-star. College
all-star talaga. I mean, a lot of the players who played for them turned out to have great professional careers.
And guys, you can't ganun din yung NLEX nun eh. Well,
Oo.
yung NLEX,
Kasi
nabutan ko.
yung NLEX, sino naman ang players ng NLEX? Calvin Abueva, Ian Sanggalang.
Pare.
Greg Slaughter was there, right?
Greg Slaughter. Nabutan ko yung NLEX.
Oo.
Powerade Junior Tigers kami. Kinalaban namin NLEX, guys.
Musta score nun, pare?
Bro, Calvin, Eman, Kevin, Ellis, Hodge, Marcelo, Kirklong. Bro, sino pa ba? Ronald Pascual.
Pinatubo trio, basically.
Pinatubo trio. Kirklong, Eman Monfort, Dave Marcelo, Borgie Hermi, Pamboy
Tapos
Raimundo, bro.
Tapos sino kayo nun, pare?
UP. School team yun eh.
Oo nga.
So kami ni na Woody ko, ni na Mark Lopez, Mike Silungan. Oh my God. I can remember one play, bro. Baseline inbound si Calvin. Inaliyup niya, pare. Ako yung nasaan ako nito? Ako yung nasa corner ata ako. Basta kita-kita ko yung buong play. Pare, alley-oop kay Cliff Hodge, pare. Tapos nung inangat ni Cliff Hodge, nung kinuha niya yung bola, tapos pag-dunk niya, wala, pare, parang sa loob-loob namin, parang, paano naman natin tatalunin to, guys? Tapos Chris Ellis, dunk ng dunk. It's crazy. So, the greatness of Harbor matched the greatness of NLEX matched the greatness of Harbor. Kumbaga, the Harbor Center of the PBL was the NLEX Road Warriors of the D-League. Di ba? Nakaisahan lang sila ng Blackwater, pare. Coach Leo Isaac. Nakaisahan sila ni Alan Mangahas, Justin Chua, Robbie Celis, tsaka sino to? Isiria Cruz. Naglaro ako sa Blackwater. The conference after they won the chip. Jeric Fortuna. Yan ang mga players nila noon. So anyway, we're gonna compare.
Malas ka talaga, bro eh. Di ka talaga mag-champion.
Malas talaga. But if you talk about, honestly, for entertainment purposes lang to eh, pero iba yung Harbor Center, bro.
Bro, I mean, for you to be winning 7 straight championships.
Tsaka bro, we're talking about the PBL.
Oo.
PBL was
all the teams, bro, they were loaded with college stars, with vets. And these are vets who are really, pare, yung talagang magugulang talaga. Yung alam mong kahit na college star ka, and if you go up against them, yung mga tipong Rido Hontilla.
Pare, mga Ron J. Buenafe.
Mga Ron J. Buenafe.
Ay, nag-harbor rin ata si Ron J.
Nag-harbor rin si Ron J nung first iteration with LA and Macmac.
Chico Lanete.
Chico Lanete.
Okay.
No, Chico Lanete, he was part of the championship teams.
Oh, umabot siya.
But before that, alala ko, he played for Granny Goose.
Tapos undrafted siya sa PBA.
Oh.
Tapos bumalik siya Harbor. Anyway, with Harbor Center, pare, with all the guys that I interviewed during my YouTube, yung medyo ng peak ko, yung mga lahat ng in-interview ko sa Where You Now, lahat ng in-interview ko sa Kwentuhan, sa lahat ng nag-pro, isa lang lagi nila sinasabi, the PBL was the league. Like, if you can get past the PBL, then you're PBA material. Like, iba yung competition ng PBL. And now kasi may school teams eh. So medyo mix yung college tsaka D-League. Ramdam mo yung pagka-amateur ng D-League. Kasi puro, pare, especially the last D-League, pare, kita mo UST na nakasulat. Kumbaga hindi na siya yung the same as when we played. Pero still, may school teams kami nung time namin. Yung PBL, pare, it's a whole different, like, ito yung UAP, ito yung PBL. It wasn't close. Ngayon kasi, medyo close eh.
Oo.
So, iba.
Kasi nga, dati nga kasi, ang dami talagang mga, those na hindi makaabot ng PBA, they stayed in the PBL and they were dominating the PBL. It's just really so hard to, kasi sa PBA at the time, 8 teams pa lang, wala pa namang Blackwater, wala pa namang Terra Firma nun. So definitely, ang hirap when you enter the draft, you syempre, not kahit ma-draft ka, you don't get signed rin naman. It's not so easy to get signed, di ba?
Baba ka kagad.
Not everybody will have
Saka-
that opportunity. So, yung mga magagaling na hindi na-draft, yung mga hindi na-sign, sa PBL sila, and nagtatagal sila dun because the competition is really crazy.
Saka if I'm not mistaken, walang age limit.
Wala.
Wala, di ba? So kahit
Wala.
sino talagang kahit yung mga veterano na pwede sa PBL. Tsaka iba yung physicality eh.
Iba,
The
pare.
physicality now, like even with the game itself, it evolved. It went to skills and athleticism, and before it wasn't. It was suntukan. Suntukan talaga. Kumbaga, Ranidel de Ocampo.
That's why for
Ganun.
me, growing up, it was very entertaining to watch the PBL.
Sobrang PBL.
Because
bro.
grabe yung
Makati
action,
Coliseum,
pare.
Makati Coliseum. Bro. Tapos, ano ko noon, pare, ICTSI.
ICTSI, Lasal.
Si Lee. Di ba Lee? Jag, ano ba yung kay na, ano nun?
Lee Pipes.
Lee Pipes, bro. Well, tapos si JR Kinyahan ba? Si JR Granny Goose ba?
Granny Goose si JR Kinyahan, pare.
Bro, like, it was, tsaka doon nakikita-kita lahat.
Oh.
Dito yung sinasabi nila na, kunyari, UAPNCA ka. Sikat
Siyempre,
yung
Manila lang yun.
parang sikat yung Ranidel de Ocampo sa St. Francis. Sino ba yun? Doon kayo magkikita sa PBL, pare. Doon mo makikita bigla lahat. Ron J. Buenape, 'di ba? Yung mga wala namang UAPNCA.
Yeah, those who play in the leagues
EJ Simon.
EJ Simon, yes.
So, don't get us wrong. NLEX is a hell of a team. But you gotta give the nod to Harbor because of what the PBL was. I don't think they saw. Okay, yung D-League kasi, it's a direct, kumbaga PBA D-League, PBA Developmental League. So dun pa lang, the D-League was a developmental league for the PBA. Kumbaga it was a stepping stone to the PBA. I don't think the PBL had any connection to the PBA.
Wala, pare, wala.
Like
You didn't have to play in the PBL to get drafted in the PBA.
So that in itself, if you think about it, it wasn't developmental. It was, ito yung liga, PBL. So it wasn't, okay, D-League muna ako, de-develop ko sarili ko para pagta ako PBA. Hindi ganun, bro. Dito talagang, ito yung liga ko, PBL.
Oh, pare.
Pakbakan tayo dito, pare, Makati Coliseum, alala ko yun. Grabe, bro. Tapos parang all-star lahat ng team. Pare, all-star, bro.
All-star talaga lahat ng team. And bro, I remember Montana, pare. Alex Compton, pare. Utik na yan. And before, tama ba ako? Reed Hontilla, before he moved to Harbor Center, Montana din siya?
I'm not 100% sure because people are gonna hate us again. Pero yeah, Reed Hontilla was like, guy, bro, sa PBL, grabe Reed Hontilla, pare.
Pare, grabe.
Everyone there, bro.
Actually, yeah, that's why it was so fun to watch because yun nga, you're so used to, as basketball fans here in Manila, you're so used to seeing the UAAP and the NCAA. But then when you watch the PBL, you're like, ay, pucha, saan to galing? Ang galing.
Pare. Tsaka yan yung pag may dunk contest, pare, Mark Pingris, KG Canalet. Ayan yung sinira ni Mark Pingris yung di ba? yung ring. Yung ring, sinira niya sa dunk contest. Tsaka bro, like yun, Mark Pingris, si Jay Wash. PJ Washington ng puta Hornets pala. Okay, si Jay Wash.
Jay Wash, di ba well coach siya nun?
Well coach, pare. Tapos si Sol, Happy. Gabe
Norwood. Bro, ito nga, 'di ba sila Gabe Norwood nung I think the most memorable, well, Mikey Romero said the most memorable championship for him was their 5th championship because Happy they swept the whole tournament. Tapos nung finals, tinalo nila Harbor game 1.
Yeah.
Tapos game 2 nanalo Harbor, so tied. Tapos yung last game, tambak na yung Harbor ng 19 points. Pero hinabol pa rin nila, pare. Intense.
Tsaka yung crowd ng PBL, puno.
Puno, bro.
Puno. Bro, as in,
diba, pare,
it was a
sa D-League.
Sa D-League.
Never
kasi nga, the D-League became more of a off-season tournament. It
Yeah.
became an off-season tournament kasi walang college. Sasali yung mga school teams doon. It became more or less, actually, itong mga huli, medyo talaga nag-fill oil na siya. Yun na yung dating niya sa akin, like fill oil. Puta, UST versus Ateneo. LaSalle versus UST. Ganun na siya eh. San Sebastian. So, parang naging off-season siya. Which means, this isn't our main league. So, this is experiment time. We're not trying to win
lang,
naman
ganun.
Hindi naman natin kailangan manalo. Important. Kahit kami noon, Powerade Tigers kami. Our main focus was the UAAP. Kumbaga, nandito tayo para mag-experience, gumaling. So, that was what how we saw it, the college guys. The Phil-Ams saw it as, I just need to
play some
para
games
may eligibility. Pwede na ako magpa-draft. So, meron din ganun yung Phil-Ams. Tapos, yung mga bumababa, wala, like, hindi ganun ka, like, di ba? So, yun yung sinasabi ko, that the PBL was a league of its own. Like, bakbakan tayo dito, hindi ka magtitipid. Kasi yung D-League, medyo may tipid factor kasi, UAAP na in a few months eh. Tapos, coaches are more or less experimenting. Naging preseason nga siya. So, that's the biggest difference between the PBL and the D-League. Again, no shot at the D-League, no shot at NLEX, but man, I think everyone would agree, man. That Harbor Center team.
Oh yeah,
the
definitely.
competition they went up against, bro.
Yeah. Kasi yun nga eh. Okay nga, sobrang lakas nga nung team ng NLEX dun. But the competition they were facing was not like not like the competition that Harbor Center was facing in the PBL.
Naisahan lang sila ng Blackwater talaga.
Pare.
Nahuli sila ni Alan Mangas, Coach Leo, Robbie Celis, Kevin Ferrer. Naisahan sila. Pero, bro, nung time na yon, Big Chill, it was Jansen ata. Keith Jensen. Yeah. And Alex Malyari. Yan yung Big Chill noon. And then, Blackwater was Kelly Nabong and AJ Mandani. Diyan ang galing yun. Tapos Buen Suceso was with ano yung isa pang pawn shop? Cebuana. Malakas din yung Cebuana, bro. Kumbaga, malakas din sila. Pero iba yung NLEX, talagang best of the best eh. Talagang Calvin Abueva, lahat na lang ng magaling kinuha nila eh. Kasi 1 to 15 magagaling eh. 1 to 50 nila stars sa mga college teams nila eh. So, it was, kumbaga, like, malakas din naman yung ibang teams, pero medyo yung ang layo nung nung materials. Dati, pare, kahit sabihin mong Jason Castro, elite, pare, Mike Cortez hindi nag-Harbor.
Hindi.
Di ba? So, Mike was on the other team. So you can't say na medyo lamang talaga tayo. No, man. Mike was on the other team. The NLEX team went up against school teams. So medyo, di ba? Sina Joseph Yeo ba? Na gano'n? Si
Joseph Yeo pare nag-Harbor din. Tangina, di ba?
Mac, Joseph, Ryan Aranya. Hayop yan.
And then towards the end, naging yung core ng FU. So sila JR Kawaling.
Saka PCU, di ba?
Si Gabby Espinas.
Paano umabot si JR Kawaling dyan?
Si JR Kawaling, kasi towards the latter years na, they adopted the core of the FU team. Kaya naging assistant coach si Coach Glenn dun. Tapos, di ba, eventually siya yung naging coach na naging Oracle na sila. Siya yung naging assistant ni George Gallant nung in-adopt na ng Harbor Center yung FU core.
Naabutan ko pa pala yung PBL, bro.
But
I wasn't eligible.
Hindi ka pa eligible.
Kasi first year ko yun. Diba dapat
kasi
2 years?
Kailangan 2 years kasi UAAP, diba?
Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na naglaro for UP school team si Vic Manuel. Tapos pare, alala ko pa, tune up, UP versus Farex. Pare, UP versus Farex, no joke. Kwento ko lang, UP versus Farex. Mikey, syempre, kakatapos ko lang ng rookie season ko, so medyo angas. Nakilala ako ng rookie season ko. Okay, angas ako. Ganyan. Sabi sa akin, Mikey, starting 5 ako eh. Mikey, yung point guard nila dyan ang star. Point guard nila yung Phil-Am. Sabi ko, siyempre mayabang ka. Okay, sige, sino? Ayun yun. Medyo kita ko na. Medyo malaki. Kalbo. Ganun din. Kumbaga, kalbo, malaki. Parang kumbaga, sige, laban tayo. No problem. Bakbakan kami, bro. First quarter. Bakbakan. Pare, bandang third, fourth, di ko na kaya, bro. Minamanan niya ako, pare. Tapos, sabi ko, bro, ang galing nung point guard nila. Pare, sino yan? Oo, pare, magaling yan. Galing sa States yun. Kakarating lang yan. Sino ba yan? Kasi walang apelido eh. Practice jerseys eh.
Kasi tune-up.
Tune-up, hindi pa ako eligible mag-PBL.
Okay.
So, UP,
so sino?
niyaya yung Farex mag-tune-up. Hindi nilaro yung team namin na PBL kasi ayaw magka-scoutan. So, UP versus Farex. Number 6, walang apelido. Bro, grabe yung point guard nila. Ang bilis. Tapos putang galing mag-steal. Ganyan. Pares tinulalata ako 3 beses. Sabi ko, patang galing nito. Sino ba to? Si Chris Ross pala yun. Pare, pumunta pa sila sa UP gym. Tapos mukha akong gago kay Chris Ross. Pare, binuli ako ni Chris Ross, bro. Ano ko noon? 19 years old. Si Chris Ross ata, 24 na, 23. Kumbaga, nagre-ready na siya magpa-draft sa PBA.
Oo, pare.
Ang galing, bro. So,
di ba nag-MVP si Chris Ross sa PBL?
Hindi ko alam kung nag-MVP siya. Ang alala ko si Vic nag-MVP.
Alam ko pare, nag-MVP si Chris Ross sa PBL.
Ay naman pala. So, nalaman ko yung MVP ng PBL. Okay. Kaya naman pala kinain ako ng buhay. Nung first quarter, laban pa eh. Kumbaga, ano pa ako? Mabilis ako, di ba? Laban. Pare, nung bandang second half, bro, binabang. Hindi ko na medyo pagod na ako. Pare, binabangga ako. Pagbangga niya sa akin, binasistilan niya ako eh. Pare, nung time na yon sobrang luwag pa ng officiating sa PBL. Like, papabayaan nila, di ba? Handcheck, pwede. Na-experience ko yung forearm ni Chris Ross. Guys, hindi siya joke. Sabi, bro. So, it's just the competition. Nothing to take away from NLEX, but the competition just gave us an easier choice.
Yeah, I totally agree, bro. Kasi yun nga eh. Wala eh.
Wala, bro.
Ang lalakas na nga kalaban nila eh.
Rani Del De Ocampo, Yancy, Mark Pingris. Alala ko yung Wellcoat, sikat na Jojo Tangkay.
Jojo Tangkay.
Hercules, man.
Hercules Tangkay.
Bro,
inis ako dyan dati kasi sobrang lason yan. Kasi nga Harbor Center, I was cheering for Harbor Center nung first time pa lang. Pero nung first year ng Harbor sa PBL, lagi silang ano bang team ni Jojo Tangkay na nakalimutan ko?
Wellcoat?
Tama, Wellcoat.
Wellcoat.
Yan, tama sila, Wellcoat. Sila nila Erwin Santa Maria. Tik na yan.
Bro, iba yung PBL dati, pare. Legit, iba talaga. Like, pag nanood ka ng PBL talaga, para ka nanonood ng PBA. Like, no disrespect PBA, pero yung pisikalan.
Same.
Parang feeling ko mas physical pa sa PBL.
Parang ganun niya eh.
I don't wanna put a period on that and assume. But if not mas physical sa PBL, it matches the physicality of the PBA. Iba, bro.
Iba. Kaya sarap manood eh. Kasi parating nagkakainitan talaga yung mga teams eh. And kasi diba sa D-League,
tsaka yung D-League, bro, dun pa lang sa venue, alam mo na. Venues ng D-League, bro, JCSGO, Trinity, pinakamalaki na nila, Inares. Yun ang pinakamalaki. Pero hindi na pupuno. Oo nga, no? Trinity, pare,
yung PBL ang liit lang ng Trinity, pare.
Yung PBL nun, Makati Coliseum, pare.
Bro.
Saan pa ba naglalaro ang PBL? Nag-Blue Eagle Gym ba rin PBL? Basta pumupuno sila ng arena. Phil Sports. Basta pinupuno nila.
Bro.
Pinupuno nila. With loyal fans talaga.
Kasi ang sarap talaga manood. Naalala ko pa, Toyota Otis, si Joe Devans doon.
Toyota Otis. Grabe yan. Grabe PBL dati, bro. Tapos nung nabutan ko na, pare, yan sila Vic Manuel. Alala ko, PBL, bro. Hindi ako umabot eh. Ano ba, kailan ba ang last year ng PBL, bro?
2011. The reason why nag-disband ang PBL is because that was also the time na hindi ko rin sure kung 2011 na conceive yung PBA D-Liga. Pero nag-disband yung PBL because nahirapan na yung league to find
Players.
no, not players, teams, because they were left with just 6 teams, and syempre 6 teams not enough to
Oo naman, hindi
to have a league,
So
diba?
dahil sa D-League.
As big as PB. Oh, kasi yung 4 teams na originally nag-commit na sasali dun sa dapat na season na yon, nag-jump ship na to the D-League.
Yun. Oh, kasi alala ko, 2009 first season ko, 2010 second season ko. So 2011, pwede na ako PBL. Yun yung sa D-League na kami. So yun nga yun. Hindi ako umabot ng PBL. I couldn't play.
Those four teams that jump ship were Farex.
Yun, exactly. Chris Ross.
Agri Nurture FCA, Cafe France.
Cafe France. Paring malakas din niya dati sila Ebondo. Ebondo, Abundo. Si sino ba? Si Casino ata. Hindi. Sino yung point guard? Lagi ako pinopostihan nung hinayupak na yun. Shit. Player ni
Cafe
Coach.
France.
Player ni Coach ngayon? Ni Coach Nash sa MPBL. Oh my gosh. I forget.
Cafe France?
Pari Cafe France, bro. Wait.
Teka lang.
Tatanong ko. Pero yun. Cafe France, bro. Grabe rin yung Cafe France dati. Bondo.
Oh, bro.
Grabe rin, bro.
Mga CEU.
Heruta! Isa pa yan. Sakit sa ulo ng Heruta na yan. If I'm not mistaken, Cafe France siya. Or si Abundo ba yun? Abundo sure, Cafe France.
Si Abundo ko sure, Cafe France.
Si EU kasi, di ba? Si EU.
Si
EU din si Heruta ata eh. O, basta yun. Malakas yung mga yan, pare.
Bro, iba talaga. Grabe.
Oh, bro, grabe. So,
there is nothing more I can say.
Pero iba pa din yung PBL. Iba talaga.
Iba
so, I think tama, Cafe France nga si Heruta. Okay, so done. We just if anyone has a different, if you all have if anyone has an argument na medyo you're leaning towards NLEX, let us know.
Please let us know.
We're open to it.
And state your reasons why.
Oo naman. Wag niyo banata na malakas kayo NLEX, Calvin Abueva, Kevin. Alam namin na malakas yung NLEX. Wag kayo magbanggit ng mga pangalan kasi pag binanggit niyo yung mga pangalan ng kabila, ganun din yung dating. 'Di ba? Jason Castro, LA. So, walang banggitan ng pangalan. You have to justify.
Justify why. Kaya nga namin sila minatch-up kasi pareho sila malakas eh. Magma-match up pa kami ng mahina sa malakas.
Oh, pareho sila malakas. They were the dominant semi-pro teams of their eras. It was D-League was all about NLEX, PBL. Ito bro. Ito na ata yung kicker.
Okay, go for it.
When people say D-League, Matic, NLEX.
Oh.
When people say PBL, you don't automatically say Harbor.
Because
iba nga, malakas nga lahat.
Oo. And yun nga eh. Kasi actually, nga.
Diba, bro? Parang hindi yung pwedeng sabihin na Harbor, PBL, Harbor lang yan.
And guys, ito pa. Okay, Harbor Center won 7 championships. But bro,
they bled for those.
They bled for it. Those were hard roads to every championship.
I think you can ask the players themselves. They won't say na dali lang, si Ranidel De Ocampo lang naman yan. Hindi bro. Alex Compton. Gabe Norwood? No, bro. So, yeah. I think
bro, you know what? I think what a good idea is for a Throwback Thursday episode with a guest.
Bring one back.
Yeah, let's interview a player who played in the PBL.
Sol Mercado wants to get on.
So
we'll see if Sol.
All right.
Yeah,
so guys, abangan niyo yun.
Pero yun. So, I think we both agree. I'm not even gonna disagree with you. Gusto ko mag-disagree sa'yo pag medyo parehong okay naman eh. Pero ngayon, you can't.
Bro.
Iba yung Harbor Center.
Iba.
Iba yung
kasi pareho natin napanood eh. Pareho natin na witness eh.
Kumbaga nakita mo that NLEX literally dominated eh.
Oh bro, straight away. Bro, you wouldn't even think na may iba pang contender.
Oh, nakaisa talaga yung Blackwater. Nakaisahan sila ng Blackwater. But you still heavy favorites yung NLEX.
Always.
Sa Harbor, bro, kahit sobrang lakas nila.
Kasi sa PBL, maraming contenders eh.
Tsaka pisikalan dun, bro. Kahit
Oo,
malakas kayo, tatamaan
Oo.
kayo sa amin. Kaya iba. So, I think we'll go harbor on this.
Talent wasn't enough kasi back then in the PBL.
Talent ain't enough back then kasi tatamaan ka kung talented ka, bro. Ngayon kasi yung talent. Bro, imagine mo si Mikey Williams, lagay mo dyan dati.
Ay, pare.
Tinamaan yan, pare.
Ay,
Tinamaan yan
ay.
nina
I mean,
Kuya
the
Winnie
Philippine
Arboleda.
brand of basketball,
Tatamaan yan, bro.
the Philippine brand of basketball still
Nag-iba na
physical
rin.
naman to this day, but iba na kasi yung rules ngayon eh.
Iba
Mas
na.
lenient na.
Kumbaga dati, physical sobra. Ngayon,
Talaga.
physical lang compared to other countries, pero
Yeah.
medyo nag-evolve na tayo into.
Oh.
Walang makaka 10 3-pointers ata dati, bro.
Putang ina.
Lalagyan ka na ng paanon pag 10 3-pointers ka na. Oh, quickly before we end this, I know that people are asking our what do you call this? Our opinions about yung foul ni yung flagrant foul ni Heruela kay Polly. But ay magagawa. I don't think Coach Chot would look back and blame that air foul for their loss. I don't know why people are insinuating
highlighting
na nanalo lang dahil no. It was a bad call. I'm not gonna disagree. It was a bad call. But this happened in the first half. This call happened in the first half. Why are we talking about a bad call in the first half?
And that one call didn't change the complexion of the game.
So
but
even Coach Chot, I don't see Coach Chot really bringing it up.
Well, he wasn't. But
although MVP,
you know who did? Yeah, MVP.
MVP was like
he tweeted this.
Okay, I'll be honest. I didn't watch it start to finish.
Same. That's
Because
why
I was busy. But I was watching clips of it or kumbaga nakikita ko sa TV. It was just on. Pero I don't know. I just parang I don't see Coach Chot blaming that call.
It's too shallow of a reason for a PBA coach in the PBA finals to blame officiating.
Exactly.
For that.
I don't see any legendary coach blaming the referees.
That's bullshit, man.
They became legendary because they played through situations that they couldn't control.
Yeah,
that's why they're legendary.
Exactly. That is part of the game. There will be shitty officiating more often than not.
Lala mo nung gilas nga si Coach Chot, 'di ba yung pinagtripan tayo sa China ba 'yon? Yung walang warm up, yung bus, ganyan. Like, but at the end of the day, pagkikwentuhan natin yung mga katarantaduhang ginawa ng China, but at the end of the day, Coach Chot is more focused on the things he can control.
Exactly.
So, don't throw that at us na. Don't take anything away from Magnolia din naman. Na porket wag naman, di ba? And also yung foul kay Troy. I mean, it happens. Diba? Whether sinadya or hindi, it happens. Hopefully lang Troy gets back on his feet or fixes that finger and then makalaro siya sana sa game 4. Diba? But
hopefully.
I don't know. I just don't see these things as reasons for me to say na kaya lang nanalo yung Magnolia dahil no. Yeah, give them their flowers, man. Give them their wins.
Give the credit where credit is due.
Yeah, I think Coach Chot or the rest of the Tropang Giga, I think they took their L.
Yeah, dude.
Like they took their L and then we'll bounce back on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Hindi naman kailangan malaking issue. Okay? Malakas din naman yung Magnolia. Finals na to, guys.
Oh.
Hindi to 8 versus 1 or 1 versus 12. Hindi to ganun, guys. Malakas din yung Magnolia. Okay? So, yeah, man. We'll continue to record on Tuesday. We'll have an episode on Tuesday. Don't worry. We'll have an episode tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Alam niyo naman, sabi ko nga sa inyo, hindi papasok ng bubble yan kung hindi pwede mag-record yan.
Siyempre.
Diba? But yeah, we'll talk about Phil Basket. It starts on Thursday.
Yep.
They're gonna push through with it. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully nothing. Kumbaga hopefully okay naman lahat. Hopefully it's malinis naman. Kasi part of me medyo tatakot ako eh. Kinakabahan ako eh. But we'll see what happens, bro. Ingat ka doon. Sa Subic. And then yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Pagi, bro. Ibig sabihin bawal ka pag gabi.
Oh.
So wala ka sa Kumu.
I think titingnan natin.
Game din yun. We'll talk about it. Kasi may mga ibang players na gusto mag-guest pero gabi lang sila pwede. We'll see.
Tingnan natin.
We'll talk about it. But yeah, that is Matchup Mondays. We take Harbor Center over the NLEX Road Warriors.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll talk about that again tomorrow for Top Tuesdays.
Yep, please don't hesitate to give us your arguments about it. Again, please tell us why.
Yes, please. Walang banggitan lang ng pangalan. Ha?
Oh.
All right, so we'll see you all tomorrow. Ingat ka doon. Have a safe trip. And
Thank
have
you,
a
brother.
good bubble, my guy. All right, so people, thank you again for the support. Hopefully you can follow us on all socials for more Shoot First. The name is Mikee Reyes.
This has been Javi Palanya.
Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Peace and love. We'll see you all very, very soon. All right, guys. Thank you very much, Tripod.